Anything you want to say?
How are you feeling? Cardi, how are you feeling? Cardi, how are you feeling about that? Are you relieved?
Here's the basic reasoning behind it. It's been over 4 years, and Cardi has really moved to another part of her life. We're talking about a life of being happily married with 2 beautiful children. She's really dedicated herself over the last few years to her service to the community, whether it be her work regarding the census, whether it be paying for these funerals after a tragedy in Bronx, whether it be the beginning of a real school year that wasn't virtual, that wasn't plagued by a pandemic, where she had planned to go from one borough to the next and visit kids as the school year kicked off. There are too many things that she has planned for her family, for her career, and for the community, and she just felt, quite honestly, that a 3-week jury trial was going to be a distraction from the things that she felt were most important. And so hence we made contact with the prosecution. We had extensive conversation, and you saw the outcome of that today, which is a mere conditional discharge of 2 misdemeanors as soon as she does this community service, which will obviously be consistent with the community service she does anyway. That will be the end. There'll be no probation, there'll be no other sentence, and she'll be able to move on.
How do you feel about the
Feel very good about it, and most importantly, our client feels very good about it. She feels good about it because she's really ready to move on to the things that I talked about.
From that to this.
Yeah, there were 12 charges, including felonies, and to go from that to a sentence that first of all is no incarceration, but there's no probation, and it's just doing community service that she's committed to doing anyway. So we feel that it's a great resolution, but we also think it's a resolution that contemplates the person that she is over 4 years later.
What about her move today?
So it's like anything else in life. You get it, like doing your term paper or not college, you get it done at the last minute. Nature of the situation, nature of the beast. But there were some honest disagreements between us and the DA's office, and we were able to resolve them in the last few days.
How would you describe her mood today? How was her morale?
Her morale is good. She's a strong woman, and she was thoroughly prepared for this, and she was strong.
Yeah, she is. Listen, if there's one frustrating thing about representing Cardi is that most people look at her 2-dimensionally. They don't understand the 3 dimensions that we know of who she is. She is a brilliant, powerful woman. She's a woman that is on top of news events as much as my friend here with the New York Times. She's a woman that can talk to you about Victorian British history. She's a woman that can talk to you about French history. She has opinions about World War II. She has opinions about the Holocaust. She is sensitive to history. She's just a brilliant, sensitive, concerned person. And that's why this case came to the end that it did, because it took the focus off the things that this Cardi B, 4 years later, is most concerned about.
Here she is in the Bronx. Any idea where she would be considering these 50 days of community service?
We're going to work with the community service folks in the DA's office. We've already started talking to them. And the idea is she's going to do something that plays to her strengths in terms of reaching people, particularly young people, positive messages about education, about staying on track, how to escape marginalization, things like that. So we've already talked to them, and we've worked with them on something along those lines.
Does it have to be in Queens County, or could it be somewhere else?
It's going to be in Queens County, and that's fair.
Right. Yeah. Did you guys ever think that the prosecutors here were just dragging this out, or just to kind of make an example out of her?
No, look, I mean, listen, we all had COVID, right? As you all know from covering the courts, cases like this are usually resolved right away. Certainly her presence in the case made it to differentiate her, but we don't think they dragged her out. I think it's a real problem.
This case is no different than cases all over the country. So we cannot throw any shade at these prosecutors for it taking over 4 years. Zero. This is happening in Los Angeles, Houston, Atlanta, Buffalo, Chicago, all over the country. It just happens to be that everybody's laser focused on this because it involves one of the world's biggest superstars. No, I take that back. The world's biggest superstar. Okay? And so, but it's happening everywhere.